Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of Softline. I'm Nancy Vanigo, and with me today I have my guest who is going to be doing my chit chat with you today. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Eno Attah. She's the Executive Secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Doctor, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Oh, see the calm doctor. You're so calm to be called a doctor. We know doctors are like, yeah. But anyway, nature. So, doctor, let's have a little chat before we go into the main discussion of the day.
Right.
Yesterday, I saw a video of Anne Idibia. Oh, she's no longer Anne Idibia. She's Anne Macaulay now.
Macaulay.
Yeah. So she came on and she said she wished, or she prays her daughters, because she has two of them. She prays her daughters don't tolerate the things she tolerated in marriage. And you know, she has been married to Two-Face, and this marriage with Two-Face has been up and down, you know, full of controversies and all that and all that. So she's opening up now to say she wish, or she prays her daughters do not tolerate the kind of things she tolerated in marriage. And this goes back to, like, you know, bring memories of mothers who tell their children, I'm only in this marriage because of you, my children. You people should not take this, or you should not take this from a man, or don't do this from a man. And yet we want these children to be, I don't know. What's your take on this whole story, first of all?
First of all, my heart goes out to Anne Macaulay. My heart goes out to her. We don't know where she's coming from. What was it she saw being tolerated that she felt that she'd be tolerating it? You know, there's some things that can happen to you and you just say, no, I can't take that. Because you've already reached a certain level of self-awareness. And you're like, no, this is not for me. But what would make another person in that same situation sit down and say, okay, it was start making excuses. So my heart goes out to her. She's obviously has been in a hard place for a long time. Even with all the flash around, it's been a hard place for her. And that's why she came out to say she hopes that her daughters will not tolerate. But this is what she has modeled. She's modeled it. It's, you know, it's easy for us to say, do as I say, don't do as I do. Children are sponges. They absorb what they see, and that's the first reaction. That's the first reaction. So even, and I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom that you can never, but it will take a lot for those girls to be in a functional relation, you know, not dysfunctional, in a functional relationship, and it has to be intentional. Everybody needs therapy and counseling at this point, not just Anna herself, but those girls need therapy, they need counseling. They need to know that it also was not their fault. Do you understand? So there's a lot, and it will take the grace of God, a whole village. A whole lot, you know. So that's why I said, first of all, my heart goes out to her.
You know, because now the children, they've seen patience, they've seen tolerance, they've seen, okay, for instance, my husband does drugs. Okay, let me just do the drug with him. It doesn't make any difference.
Let's just hang out.
Let's just hang out. They've seen all that. And for all those time that she was bottling this thing up, and then, you know, showing to the world that everything was okay. Fine. Meanwhile, there was something else. It was something else in the house. These children have grown to see that, okay, it is okay to go through pain in the house, but it's also okay to show the world that everything is fine.
It's normal.
It's normal, all right? So it's going to take a whole lot to tell them otherwise. It's going to take a whole lot to tell them otherwise. But now let's go to mothers who'd say they kind of like, you know, this generation now, they want to have everything at once.
Now,
they want to have everything instant. Exactly, instant. So now you have parents who said, okay, during my days we were calm, we allowed things to take its course, you know, but then you tell your kids, can't you see this person? Can't you see this person doing this? Can't you see this person? So we're kind of putting these children in a confused state, like you're showing something else, but you're preaching something else. So I don't know how you have yours, right?
I have a girl and a boy.
Okay, so what kind of model or what kind of teachings do you give to your girl child?
First of all, it's funny. I'm a doctor. My husband is a lawyer.
Okay.
Neither of our children have chosen to either study medicine or do law.
You don't say.
Neither of them. And when I see my colleagues now, we're at the stage where, our children are in university, and I see my colleagues and I'm like, oh, my first daughter is a doctor, and this one is going to study medicine. This one is studying pharmacy. I was like, where did I go wrong? But I know what it was that we did. We didn't force them. We let them be. We let them be.
Okay.
We notice talents in them and we encourage it all the time. We had an open table policy. You can sit at the table and discuss the things that you want to do. Because the warning is, this is what you've chosen now. If you don't you have to make a living from this your talent. You understand? Our own is to nurture it, nurture you, bring it out of you. But know that this is what is going to be paying your bills. And one way or the other, they found themselves, where they are with our support and with our love. So the first thing is ensuring that the child is heard.
Okay.
You as the parent, you as the mother, you gave birth to this child. You notice there were things about this child growing up. Oh, this child likes this. This child is really good at this. This child, so those things that you see, bring out, nurture. Don't force and say it must be this one or else. So that, and then you let them know that it's their responsibility to make it work. There are implications. If it doesn't work, I have my own. I don't know about you. Apparently, one of my favorite singers, Diana Ross, with all her money, she used to tell her children, especially when they were growing up, this is mommy's money. It's not yours. I'm just, giving you a roof over your head. And like they believed her. So if you check it, you can't really say with all the money she has, then her second marriage, she married a multi-billionaire. They have things that they do. Do you understand? Who is she going to live there? I mean, she's not going to just give out all her money, but she told them, it's your responsibility. You do you. You do you. But you support.
Before we get carried away with this conversation,
maybe that's another show entirely.
We'll go on a very quick break, and when we come back, we introduce our topic. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in once again. So today we are discussing family planning and reproductive health. Our conversation will focus on exploring common misconceptions and challenges, understanding successful initiatives and programs, discussing the benefits of family planning, identifying ways to improve access to reproductive healthcare services, and empowering individuals to make informed decisions about their reproductive health. So joining us once again, I'm going to introduce her again. She is Dr. Mrs. Eno Attah. She's Executive Secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. And also I'm going to introduce my co-host, Eddie Young. And this one will not pass me now. Eddie Young, you're welcome to the show. Oh my goodness.
You had your way.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you, doctor, for standing in. It was nice watching you.
No, for coming early.
Better.
Oh, doctor, I was even thinking you were for me.
I am for you.
You're for me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love that.
All
right, thank you, sir.
It's nice to be here, Softline, once again.
Okay, so our discussion today on family planning, crucial topic, I must say.
Very.
Let's start this way. Let's have some of those misconceptions people have about family planning. Those ones you've come across and you would like to debunk them today.
Okay, one of the first that popped into my mind is the fact that people feel that family planning is a way of stopping them from having children, that it will cause long-term infertility. Will cause infertility in them that cannot be reversed. Family planning is a way of introducing cancer into people. We've had that, and at the community level. Family planning is, is to stop us from our God-given rights of having as many children as we can, as we can. Not as we want
as
to.
We want.
Not as we can afford, as we can. Like all the eggs inside this
must come
belly
out.
Must come out. It is God that has given me that. Yeah. So Then I heard the one I heard today. Actually, there's a training going on in the States. And one of the things I heard today was that it causes internal heat. Nobody has ever been able to define what internal heat is successfully. To me, I hear different definitions, but yeah, that it causes internal heat. So these are some of them. I'm sure you've heard of some things.
I know I've heard of internal
heat.
Oh, really?
So for you coming
to
from
now
a
say it.
doctor, then you don't understand that definition.
Nobody has defined it, and it's not in my medical textbooks. I mean, yes.
Seriously?
It's not in internal heat, no. There's no definition. And then when you ask one patient, it's different from one to the other. What do you call it? So how are you feeling? So usually, like, especially when I was doing clinical medicine, I don't do that anymore. I'm very involved in policy and all of that, so health management. But when I was actively a clinician, I would ask, so why are you here? They'll say, oh, Utoyen. I was like, how do you know? You haven't even tested. Okay, forget your own diagnosis. Put it aside. Tell me how you feel. So even when they told me they had internal heat, I said, what does that feel like? Explain it to me. And from patient to patient to patient, it was always different.
But the same name?
Yes, but they've called it internal heat. Like,
okay, so what kind of description did they give to you?
Funny enough, the funniest I ever heard is from a lady that told me it's like something is moving inside her. How is that internal heat? Why didn't you say internal movement or something? Something is moving. Man, I'm a dog. I'm just looking at this in my right hand and smiling at her because I'm like, yeah, that's probably something else. But hopefully, if we find out what is the cause of your ailment, we can treat you, and then that internal heat will go.
So how do you health workers promote this reproductive health? Apart from these sensitizations you do on TV, televisions and radio, what are the ways you use in sensitizing people?
Specifically, we have what we call outreaches, where the primary healthcare facility is in a community. So we go out into the community. We have health promotion officers, thankfully. So the PHC system is actually a very robust system to be used at the community level. It's just that it hasn't had the support that it needs to run all those services. But if you look in the charters, if you look in our policy documents, everything is well documented. It had a very good foundation, or it has a very good foundation. So we have outreaches where you leave the facility, go out into the community, talk to the women from time to time. Then we have in-reaches. If the women are gathered together for one thing or the other, maybe for immunization, take advantage. The family FP officer, family planning officer comes out. Have you heard about this? And they bring out the different cards that, we show the different things we have available and say, see that little room there, when you're done here, you can actually come over, we'll talk to you.
Okay, nice one.
Those are the kind of things we do.
Good,
and then we have support, to come on TV stations, do public service announcements on radio stations as well, especially if we have a campaign activity coming up. So we talk about it.
Good, great job.
Talking about the reproductive organ now, I think care. Let's look at things women should engage in to keep that place wholesome, healthy.
Don't play with it too much. It's the right pH that it needs to be at. Except for very extreme, except there's an infection or something. But if you treat the infection, that will be sorted out. Don't play with this. I'm not even a proponent for washes, like intimate washes. They'll tell you that they're going to help to keep it at the right pH, but God sorted everything out. You understand? Make sure your diet is healthy and that your diet is such that I heard somebody the other day saying that our diets are not balanced these days. But if you have more fruits and vegetables, for instance, just try and increase that as opposed to having too much of the starch. There were days when I used to do wellness workshops for women, and it was all about how you portion your food, the sizes of. So when I tell women, don't let your swallow be bigger than your fist, they would laugh me to scorn. But what I meant was, no matter what you have on your plate, have more vegetables, have more fresh foods. So that will take care of everything, honestly. Honestly.
Okay, so I'd like to still stress a little bit that feminine wash kind of thing, because a lot of people believe, some would say no, just water, some would say soap, some would say, a lot of other things.
There are products, a whole lot of products, feminine products,
even natural things.
Dolchin.
for parents, how do you, because some female feel very uncomfortable if nothing is being done there, like maybe using soap, they feel water is just not enough. So I think it's okay to keep affirming this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let them know that it's beyond the feeling. And what is it that is making you feel that is not enough? What are they seeing on social media? What are their friends telling them? So we talked a little bit about, you know, the importance of social media. But like I said, you don't need to play around. When I say play around, like try and put in, you know, washes. And that's, I'm not mentioning any specific thing. But the pH is fine, except you have an infection. When the infection is treated, you are fine. Make sure you rinse properly. And then another thing, wiping from front. I don't know if you ever heard that you wipe from the front to the back, not back to the front. Hey, I'm glad we're all females here. So let them remember that you wipe from the front to the back. Even if you did a wee, you know, wipe from the front to the back. Don't, you know.
Introduce
So
external bacteria to that side.
Exactly.
So is it with odorless or with odor? Because those are the kind of...
Please, you are not... I think that by the time you have a discharge that is foul smelling, you know, there's an issue. You probably there's probably an infection. But ordinarily, there is a discharge. So you get to find out what's normal for you. You understand? So when it's a bit of... I mean, by the time you smell a fishy odor, there's a problem. And that will probably come with pain or urination. There's an issue.
All right, since she told that line, let's finish it up. Let's round it up with one question before we go into the family planning program. Now, when you have those things, because I know growing up, when we have little discomfort in that place, we tend to look for soothing, relief, you know, and looking for this soothe and relief, we tend to put things like I know I have done using dusting powder once upon a time because I get that cooling effect from it. So I knew it was dangerous. So now I think you should talk to ladies, young girls out there, when they get such infection or discomfort in that what should they do?
Oh, they should go to the nearest health facility.
And that's the problem, because we can't talk. You know, how do we tell somebody we have that problem without them thinking, what
have you been up to?
You know.
Hopefully you won't get what's the word, a health worker that judges you without allowing you. Definitely, if you get to see me, I will not be judging you. I will just, you know, okay, so that's the issue. How long has it been? That's the next question. And when did you notice it? Have you noticed any other thing attached to it? And then you get the remedy for it. These days, people go to the chemist, but I didn't say you should go there. I'm just saying that there are other options available. So if you've done everything, you've cleaned yourself well while you're taking a shower and you wash properly. When I say wash properly, lots of water irrigates the area and all of that. Don't wear tight underwear, especially to sleep. All of these things, you know, and then wipe from front. Little basic things, you know, will take you a long way. And so if you've done all of that, but you find out that, they're still going to you have frequent micturition or going to the loo to urinate, and then you smell this thing, you know, there's an issue. So you actually need to go and find out what exactly is causing it. So you get the right medication.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now let's talk about the place of culture, religion, when we talk about family planning, because you know all the efforts you medical bodies put without these two bodies, it's like it's a waste of time.
You know, you're right. You're actually right. There's a huge space. When we work together, we achieve more than if it's just primary healthcare is running with this program. I remember 2 years ago, we're introducing the human papilloma virus vaccine into the immunization space before routine immunization. So we had a campaign. And part of our success in that campaign was collaboration. We had different stakeholders at the table as we're sitting here. We're about to introduce this thing. I think it was in October of 2023, November. We introduced this thing. We did this like 6 months ahead. We brought them up to what we call a technical working group. And we had stakeholders. We had media as well. We had media, we had school principals, you know, the Association of Private School Proprietors. We had somebody from Government Ministry of Education. I think we even went to SUPEB. We had the religious leaders. We had the people representing CAN. We had somebody representing the Islamic Federation. So everybody was at the table. Let's talk. You're talking about our young girls. You want to introduce them to having sex early by giving them this vaccine between 9 and 14. What are you people up to? So we now started explaining to them that it is not an older woman that has already opened the gate, as it were. You want to start. You want to start early, hopefully early. You know, we had that discussion about how early is early, you know. So we want to start early, want to ensure that she hasn't had the infection yet, she hasn't been exposed, and then we can give the vaccine. Vaccine is for preventing, not for treating after the fact, you know. So, and that was so helpful. We had an amazing launch campaign in Akwa Ibom State. We were actually like lauded at national level. And even on that day, so the representative, particularly from the Islamic Council, he's male, but then he talked to the women, and so the one in charge of the women, the Amira, I think that's the title, she actually brought young girls on that day.
Wow.
So we go so much farther when we're working together, when everybody understands. It might take a little bit longer, yes. Might take a little bit, so I'll answer your question, I'll answer that one's question, that one raise a question. Somebody else will be the one to say, actually, for that, so you know we can do this. So that's how we went far, not fast.
Nice one.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we can still recap on the old modern techniques or uses of these pills, or what we have for prevention, and then what are the new things? Are there any innovations or?
Yeah, well, just upgrades on what we've already been using. So we have the IUCD, then we now have the ones with hormones in them. So we also have injectables, as we say. So it's not just the hormonal injection that you take every time. We actually have an implant that is like a slow release over time. I saw you looking at my left arm when I pointed. Like, let's go back. Training going on, and that was part of the discussion. So one of the interesting questions was, and it was a scenario painted and then a question followed. So the scenario was that this lady came to the health facility and they have something called a disc, like an information disc. So they ask, so what are you thinking of? Do you want short term? Do you want long term? When you say short term or long term, they turn it to one side and then it shows you the options that you can do. So the woman eventually said she wanted an implant done. Lo and behold, the woman was pregnant and they didn't know. I think it was early days. She also didn't know. She was just thinking, maybe the frequency of activity with Oga, I need to go and do something. So, but it was a bit late because she was already pregnant. The stable door had been opened, the horse was out. So,
oh my goodness.
So they actually inserted the implant. She was pregnant. And, you know, as months went by, she was like, okay, initially she didn't see her period. She thought, oh, maybe it's the implant. And then, you know, they told her that might happen in the beginning, but later you see your period, and then she wasn't seeing period. So by the time she checked, she was actually pregnant, and, you know, it had started showing. And she said, you know what, the thing is not, the baby is growing. She'll leave her implants there. And she actually had that baby with no complications whatsoever because of the levels of hormones that they put in. They're not too high. They're high enough to prevent pregnancy from occurring, but not to stop it or to abort it. Do you understand? So she had the baby. And then she said, well, let's see. I'm not ready yet to pull it. Let's see how it goes. And the thing now did its full 4 or 5 years of preventing pregnancy before she removed it. That's a one-off, I think, in my mind. But yeah, that happened.
Now I get to understand why some persons will give birth and the babies come out.
Like, hey! I'm not too sure about that because the baby is enclosed in the embryonic sac, and the sac is not inside. Do you understand? Where you put the implant, by the time the baby is implanted, God is not sleeping.
Are you trying to say it's not real?
So maybe as the baby is coming out, but not while the baby is in utero.
Really? Because we've grown up to believe these babies actually remove.
It's a nice story, isn't it?
So it's not scientifically proven, because I know that's what people always say. It's not
So I'm just saying that the baby is enclosed in a sac.
Okay.
God finished work. Do you understand? The baby is enclosed in the embryonic sac.
Okay.
So is the sac forming around the IUCD or whatever? I think it's just outside. So this is a cup. Let's say this is the sac with the baby in it. So maybe the thing got pushed to one side.
Okay.
So it's there. So maybe by the time the sac breaks open finally and the baby is coming out, maybe that's the victory flag waving.
It helps to bring it out.
Like the way you pick it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So wait. Let's follow up on that now. You know, some persons, I hear you say you're talking about hormones. Some of them laden with hormones and all that.
But they're slow release and they are very low doses. So it's just to prevent implantation from taking place.
Okay,
Yes,
okay. Now, we're talking about the different types. Now, so what are those ones that, you know, I hear a lot of people complain. So many complaints about these contraceptives. You know, some would say it makes them bleed excessively. Some would say it fattens them. You know, there are so many complications. So what is your take on this?
The one sentence I'll give you is that one size doesn't fit all.
Okay.
Remember I said we go through a wheel and then we now look at what. So each woman would have different pre-morbid, let me say pre-morbid, because that's before you came to us to do a certain thing. You were already you. So whether you were hypertensive or you had fibroids or you had this or you are more likely to do, all of those are you. So we'll now ask you, do you usually experience this? Do you do this? Do that? So we usually use that to try and tailor what works for you best. And if it doesn't work, please, you have a choice to say, okay, that one doesn't work for me. Let's do another one. Don't suffer in silence. Don't tolerate. Don't manage.
I like that. I like
manage,
that.
yes.
All right, we'll go on a very quick break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Stay with us. All right. All right. So thank you for being there. So we still have the Dr. Eno in the house. We're discussing family planning and health, reproductive health care. So we'll take a quick tweet, or we'll take some tweets before we continue with the discussion. Our first tweet here is from Short Shots, and he says, in reality, family planning is not easily accessible for average Jane. PHC, I guess that's primary health centers, are not at full functions and not entirely free. The taboo culture around contraception still exists. Okay, we talked about that taboo culture. Okay, and then the next tweet here says, as a Nigerian woman navigating family planning. Okay, as a Nigerian woman navigating family planning, I refuse to accept what's available at primary healthcare clinics. Ask questions, demand options. Don't let providers push one-size-fits-all solutions. Oh, okay. I remember we'll try to say this, you know, okay, let's just finish the tweets before we come to talk. Contraceptives should ease our lives, not burden us with weeks of bleeding, weight gain, headache, or worse. Not every method fits everybody. Okay, so I guess that's, let's take the third tweet, I think. Yeah, no, the third one that says one provider pushes one size fits all solution, you know, and that's why you have a lot of women talking about this. They say it makes them bleed excessively, makes them add weight, because when they go to these healthcare centers, they have only one, and they'll convince you to tell you this is the best one.
So it's unfortunate if that's what they have experienced.
Okay.
But I agree with one of the tweets that said, don't let them push you into taking one thing. You to read up on it and come in armed with your own information. And if they don't have what you want at the time, you know, like right now we're depending on federal government to send us the commodities. We call them commodities, family planning commodities. We depend on federal government to send it to us. So it's like they're pushing it out to the states. So we want to get to a point where we are also buying ours, depending on our need, because you have to document and say, 10 women came in today and only 2 women took what we have because we only have this. They need to give us that information. And honestly, federal government also tries to listen to our requests based on usage. Based on usage. So if we tell them, if they've given us 10 of one particular type, and then we tell them, you know, in the next quarter, and that's the next 3 months, oh, we need like 20 of that particular type, and you've only used 2. Who is going to give you 20? Finish the 10. But what is it that your people want? Because they are not using this. What is it that they want? And you know, they don't have everything. That's the last thing. They don't have everything, but from what they have, they can give us something as close as possible. And then if they see demand, of course, they will look for what actually, as they say, moves market. And bring that on board.
So what are the yardsticks? What do people use as measurements? Aside someone walking in, because I could walk in to request for this because I heard my friend say, but it did not work for me. So at that point, what do the health workers do?
They are supposed to sit you down and take you as an individual through the process of finding out what works for you, or at least, first of all, prescribing something. It is only when you use this, you will now know, does it work really? Am I comfortable? Is my body adjusting and all of that? And like I said, you don't need to suffer in silence. Come back. If they tell you, no, go, that's how it is. You say, after 2 months, no, I want a change. You can insist and say, I want something different. It is not, unless you tell me that this is how it's going to be throughout. You understand? Or if you tell me, okay, just 1 more month and it will definitely stop. And if it doesn't definitely stop, then we're stopping.
Okay, so it actually has a duration, like you could actually bleed.
So it's not and when we say this bleeding, it's not like you're bleeding throughout. You might have spots, you know, and it's outside of your period, for instance. So you might have some spots bleeding in between.
Is that what they call the bleeding?
Yes. So some women might, so when they do have their periods, I mean, for women that are counting, I don't know what you guys do these days. Maybe you have apps on your phones. In those days, I had a calendar in my diary where I'll be circling red here.
We have apps that makes them easy.
Can you imagine? And then the apps can help you also predict your ovulatory period and all of that.
Absolutely.
I mean, technology is great.
It's amazing.
So just use it well. It's just that there's the downside of it.
All right, we have a whole lot of things to talk about. Like Eddie wants to bring up the implant. Eddie, go ahead with that.
Yeah, please go
ahead. So like I said, when you were mentioning the
implants, you were looking at my arm.
That I had to look at your arm. So there's this video that went viral. And you also mentioned, I think it's related to the myths people have. So, you know, you talked about HPV. I remember having to bring in other people to make it work, sensitizing them. And someone raised an issue. You want to encourage the young girls?
Girls too, yes.
So for the implants, is it right, or maybe not just the implants, for any of them, is it right to introduce contraceptives to teenage children that are not yet married?
So I don't want to ask you your age, DJ. But those of us from the older generation, I admit I'm middle-aged now, you know. So our upbringing was different. The world was different then, and I told her earlier. I said the problem with this generation is that the future is not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. I remember when I went into medical school, my parents assured me, no, don't worry, no, but once you finish from medical school, jobs will be waiting for you. They will just be waiting. Once you get a job, they give you a car, because that's what used to happen for them in their generation. And no one came out of medical school. It was not like that. And since my parents are not in the medical field, they didn't even have a friend to phone to say, can you help us? So I did look for a job that I liked, a job that I wanted, and all of that. So things are different now. Our young girls, we're talking about technology. This phone is like, so we have 5 fingers on one hand. This phone is like the 6th finger. It is, I mean, everything is at a fingertip, and they get all sorts of information. So before you even start going through the wheel with them, they told you what they're there for and what they want. Now, why are we allowing this? Why are we, I don't want to say encouraging, but why are we, teaching our staff at the health facilities? First of all, don't castigate them. There's a way that a young child does things, and you start shouting, that child won't come to you again. So when this child doesn't come to you, but is already exposed to sexual activity, you can preach all you want. You find out that the ones that get exposed early are probably the ones that their parents are daddy and mommy Gio in the church. And it's probably somebody in the church that has started them off. There are ills in this society. This is the situation right now. So I told her a story of how I was sitting on the plane coming back into with a young lady. She said she did youth service in Akwa Ibom. She was Ibom. Now she doesn't want to leave Akwa Ibom. She wants to continue. She has a thriving business selling palm oil. She knows where to get it because of the local government she was posted to and all of that. And I thought that was very interesting. But she said that when she was a teacher in the secondary school, these girls would commit all sorts of atrocities. They would have abortions, and their parents are sitting back home saying, "Oh, my child doesn't even know anything about it." Let us stop telling ourselves lies.
Exactly.
So that is why at the health facility, me, I would rather not have a high maternal mortality rate, because no matter how old that girl is, she's one of the figures under our maternal, because she died trying to do whatever to a child that she was having. Do you understand? So, and for me, it's just a way of having conversations. You bring this child in. Oh, you want to do the, make it light. There are actually some healthcare workers like that. You make it light. Oh, really? What is his name? And then you kind of let them know it's not everybody.
Okay.
Try not to make it every Tom, Dick, Harry, and all of that. And I hear things like, oh, they fight in the schools.
Over boyfriends. And all that.
So all of those things, I hear so many horrible stories.
Okay.
And there are things that are going on. We are just saying that as we're talking to our children, first of all, you want to bring them close to talk to them. Okay. If they say they are coming to the health facility, that's why we have adolescent centers in the some health facilities.
Okay.
Give them a relaxed atmosphere that we can talk.
Okay.
It's all about let us talk. I don't want to drive you out of the gate by saying, no, what kind of noise? If your mother, in fact, I'm telling your mother.
All right, so I see this is I think this is the only answer we'll get from any health worker will bring to this table. But, I still have my objections about this. This
and they're valid.
Now, I think we're taking the easy way out. Quick fix, since these children are sexually active, the best thing, let's do this, and it is causing a problem. It's becoming a menace. I mean, why would you have 40 children, young girls in a school, or having this implant? I think we are doing too much. We are indulging these children too much, but we don't.
So let's hear your ideas, because I always want to get better at what we do.
Okay, so I think we should go back to how we do it back in the days. Mothers should try to make parenting more intentional. It should be intentional, because people will say, career, the economy is hard, we have to go look for, so we don't have that time to sit at home to talk to our young girls. So we allow them, and some mothers who want fast money, push these young girls out.
They say, don't you see what your friend is doing? You can't tell me you don't know what to do.
So some mothers are already seated waiting for their 17 years old or 18 years old to get them the best car they've never driven before, the best house. There was one podcast I saw of a girl who was just 18 years, and the guy who was interviewing asked her, how much is what's the largest money you've ever made at this age? And she said 10 million. The guy was like, 10 million? Where did you get 10 million? But she laughed and said, my boyfriend, I've been sugar daddy. Yeah, sugar. What did you do with it? The first thing she said was buying her mother a house.
And the mother collected.
So what are we preaching? So most of this problem is actually from
the
home.
mother praised God inside.
She praised God. It's true. So we're indirectly pushing. So that was why I said, if we could go back to the way it used to be, of mothers, being intentional about raising daughters and saying this is not how to be.
Raising their children, or don't just say
not
daughters,
just daughters, right? Raising their children. That is. But let's talk about the MA.
Okay, Mommy.
The
new federal government initiative.
Minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so Mommy is maternal and neonatal mortality reduction innovation initiative, and that is just to say, maternal mortality rates are rising too high and too fast. Infant and neonatal mortality rates are also rising. So what are we going to do? So from us at the health sector, we can't go and preach to anybody. That's not our own to be preaching. Our own is what next? What can we do? So there are different strategies that have come on board. And, the federal government, the president of the federation has gone as far as going to World Bank and saying, we need to address this fast. So we need this money to do this, and these are the life-saving interventions that we want to put into place. Last month, the representative from the national actually came to the States, and we went through our different health facilities. And so many things, normally things go on. When you're doing your monitoring and evaluation, you might see a few things, but for some reason, so many things were uncovered. And when I say uncovered, also the fact that because His Excellency, the governor of the state, has ensured that health insurance is a top priority for him. you find out that more and more people, as they hear and understand, and people have been saying we're not saying enough about health insurance, as they hear and understand what it's all about, they go and register. Pregnant women are registered free of charge, and they can go and deliver their babies in
hospital,
in any private facility, and also in any public government facility, and some private. Some privates have actually also keyed into the whole thing. So and a lot of people still don't know. But me going to the health facility, I see women that have just delivered, and they said because they had their insurance card. So you can now come and use the primary healthcare facility, you have access to it. So there's a lot. And then another thing, because of under mommy as well, there's no pregnant woman that should be allowed to lose her life because she didn't have access to cesarean section because she didn't have money. All cesarean sections are supposed to be free in the country as of last year, 2024.
Wow.
As of I think
is
about
it
December.
Implemented as in, because sometimes
in the
we have all these things in the paper, but
so in the paper, so it's it's what you know that you're going to do. You understand? So we try and make sure that more and more people know. And once again, I'm sure you saw how His Excellency went and ensured that we had the state's emergency ambulance services agency on board. So those ones have ambulances, and people have testified. It's like we should even have a program that will call up those people that have used the ambulance. There was a man at the facility when the person from Mami came, and he said that he just opened his phone, dialed the number, and somebody actually picked.
Oh, really?
So, my wife is in labor. Where are you? They came and picked them up.
That's nice.
And took them to a facility, and she had the child free of charge.
That's nice.
More people should know about that.
More people should know about it. And I think that is why the governor paid quick response to the incident in
incidents that happened.
I was so surprised that, within few days, judgment, everything was already carried out. Okay, so if we have that on ground, why is it not popular? Why are people not why do people not know about it?
And even if they heard, they say, so they're
doubting if it's real. So for those who will take a step forward,
then those are the ones that will now testify and say, no, I've tried it. And then they will tell their friends. So you telling 5 friends, phone a friend, 5, 10, your family members, it's growing. But we wish you could just, so that means that we should be on our toes and ensure that the health facilities are ready to receive all of these people in the midst of brain drain and japa.
That was where my next question was going to come from, talking about brain drain.
And also they might feel because it's free, they might not have the kind of attention they would expect. Yeah, they might
so that's another thing.
So they'd rather pay for their services and be sure that,
But if they just try, they'll see that
it's
free is real.
Nigerians have lost so much trust in all these things. So we don't free. Oh, please.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe the people that have actually used this should speak up more loudly. Maybe that should be what the program is focused on. Real life people, every day, somebody on the streets that has used it and can testify by themselves. Okay,
so we see it's a very good program. So in your own assessment, your own opinion, what are those few challenges that you think this program would have or is having?
Once again, the trust that is actually real. So how to break that barrier of lack of trust, make it loud of people that have actually started using it. Now, so the insurance agency and the primary healthcare, we share the same building on Wellington Bassey 29. Yes, I'm plugging our agency. 29 Wellington Bassey. And I've seen that the crowd for insurance coming up to be enrolled is getting more and more every day. So the word is getting out there, but slowly. So that was the major challenge, people understanding that it's there. The second challenge, once again, is the health workforce. Are they ready? Are they ready for the influx of people that have left traditional methods to come in? But we're working on that.
All right, Eddie.
Yeah, I was thinking as a wrap. She should just give us a brief summary of what you want people to know about family planning. And what
talk more on this free one. Very important.
Family planning is available to you. We want you to have the number of children that you can afford.
Wait, before we go there, whenever we talk about family plan, we seem to exclude the husbands, the spouse. So what is the place of the spouse?
The place of the spouse is come with your wife. So we actually do have a public service announcement, testifying to that it's the husband that carried the wife there, so that they are not fighting, nobody is hiding. We quickly go and put an implant and wait for it to heal before, so nothing that your husband does will enter because you fortified yourself.
I'm telling you.
But
So
we encourage the men to come with their wives and also talk you through. I mean, we can't, maybe we'll still develop that implants for the men, but I know they will not agree.
Why haven't you
There's
done
actually,
it?
there's actually family planning for men, apart from the condoms, and they can do vasectomies.
But they don't do it.
The vasectomy, yeah. So what don't they have a temporary thing for them?
So we're still researching R&D, research and development. We're still researching, and most of the time it's not women that are doing research and development. So the men are not going to give you anything that will be studying them.
Let's not forget, we also have men who are not supportive at all. They don't want to.
Yes,
so even when their wives are at risk, like they've had enough children, the way they should stop, but they want more.
Thank you. So it's those ones that really we are asking to come out to the facility. So that's why we're talking to our traditional rulers, our religion, who are usually men. Do you understand? Absolutely. So they're the ones that will show. I remember I went to a health facility. In fact, it was the chief's palace that we went to and had an event on family planning last year. And he was showing his wife, don't you see how beautiful she is? Oh, she calls her kiss queen. I think they had 5 children, at different stages and some grandchildren. He said, because she's been using family planning, we decided this is the number of children we can afford. So somebody like that to be vocal as a champion for family planning. Absolutely. When he talks, the other men will now look at him and listen. Yeah.
All right. Like Eddie said, just give us a closing remark.
That's a closing remark. Family planning is free. Please come and use our health facilities. And please don't let them bamboozle you. If they do I for you to do I for them and say, no, that's not the one I want. And if you don't have it, please tell me where I can go and get it, or when will you have it? So I can come back. But in the meantime, okay, I will manage with this. Family planning is your right. It's your right to decide by choice how many you want. God has given us all the eggs that we will need, but let us also honor that and not be irresponsible and just have children. And I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Before they come for me and say it is irresponsible to have children, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying have the number of children. There's a little anecdote about an older friend of mine back in the day. She had 2 children, and a couple used to come to her to support them, give them money, and then by the time they came, maybe some years later, the woman was there heavily pregnant for the 6th child. Is it only 2 you have? She said, I have 2 so that I can be supporting your many. You understand? Don't now put the burden on somebody else, So that's it. Have the number of children that you can afford. Thank you. Come to our health facility and report to us if there's any
issue. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Eno Attah, for coming on the show today. Oh my goodness. So thank you for tuning in to our conversation. Thank God that this is even
the end.
Thank God say na record, so if na live now, what's na for this, Abi? Be coming down, Abi. Okay. I show off mic.
Off your mic.
Oh my goodness. You see this man, now because of you, then in fact, I'm going to make her take that part again. Now, when no one do family planning, he's saying the plan for family planning for men will not work. Yes, it will not work. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to our conversation on family planning and reproductive health. We appreciate Dr. Mrs. Attah for her expertise and insight, and we hope you've gained valuable knowledge to empower your own decision and conversation about health and well-being. So from all of us here, women, it is bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
And visit our health center.
Come to my primary healthcare facility. Please come and report any nonsense you see. Thank you very much.
My goodness.